Well, I don't think it's pressure, actually. Look, Liz has led the way on this debate in asking and making the case for a lower tax economy, putting more money in people's pockets, committing to that emergency budget to look at what more we can do to specifically deal with these challenges ahead of that price cap review in the autumn. So others have been playing catch up. What we've seen from Labour today is something that to an extent is uncosted, and what they have outlined, I have to say, is something that's going to cost in the region of what we spent on furlough through the whole of COVID. So quite a big pressure on public finances. What we've been setting out, what Liz has been setting out, is a fully costed programme with the commitment to an emergency budget to look at what more we can do in a structured and professional way.
Labour would disagree with you about that fully costed business. They say it is fully funded, and one of the ways they'll do that is another windfall tax on energy companies. You wouldn't be keen on that, would you?
Well, actually, look, I'd say there's a couple of points in that. If you look at what the IFS have already said today, there is arguably a £7 billion gap in what they're doing based on their prediction of where they think things might go without allowing for what that might do with inflation, because ultimately what they're going to do is compress prices in the short term rather than actually deal with the underlying issues around energy security and people's affordability for these challenges. Equally, they're looking at a retrospective tax. I think that's always a difficult and dangerous space to be in. But what Liz has outlined is wanting to put more money in people's pockets in the short and medium term to deal with some of these challenges, with also that commitment to emergency budget to look at what more specific things we can do to help people. That's giving the Treasury and her team time between now and that emergency budget to work this through properly, so we come up with a package that actually works for and delivers for people.
What about strategies that we've seen, let's say, in France, where the government have just enforced an energy cap?
We've got a different structure, obviously, to the energy industry in France, not least for all the state ownership in France. What we've got to look at here is how we help people with the general cost of living, because what we've got to do is ensure we're not pushing up inflation. Again, Liz's plans are based on working to hold back inflation and making sure we've got more money in people's pockets. That's why she's particularly outlined those tax reductions that she has as a principle of a lower tax economy, looking to get higher growth. Yes, we want better energy security. That does take time. That's why, as I say, the Chancellor and the Chief Secretary working, who are also on Liz's team, working to build up this package of support that we can give to people with an emergency budget. So it's properly structured. But Liz has been the one leading the way on how we get more money in people's pockets from the very beginning, and we've been consistent about that.